The atmosphere on the bridge was calm, but controlled, casual, but serious. Everyone was on guard, but not as much as they usually were. No major wars, no serious fighting, no pirate activity. It was just a simple routine patrol on a backwater system bordering Confederacy space. I sat at my engineering console and pored over some minor scanning data from weeks ago. I took a deep breath, my beak chattering idly while I looked at some minor energy readings from the local star. Any idea what exactly we are looking for, or is this just a be here to be here kind of thing? I idly asked nobody in particular.
Just a routine patrol one. Nothing too serious. Kind of peaceful these days.
My captain said as he sipped some tea.
Captain, I'm getting interference in the local waveform calculations, but they don't make any sense,
The scout leader said.
What do you mean, no sense? He replied.
Well, the quantum waveform suggests that a number of ships have been through this planet recently, but the readings are off the charts. The energy bleed readouts tell me that the ships are in excess of 20 times the Confederacy's average size.
He said. We all looked at him. That's impossible, I said, and decided to look at his console myself.
I know it is, but here's the data right here. To make this kind of radiation bleed, you have to have a petawatt reactor at minimum. No ship in the fleet has those. I have already filtered out the local star's radiation excess, so there's definitely something here.
Scout leader said as he pointed out the data with his flipper. That is odd. Well, it might be a fleet moving through. Can't filter out individual reactor signatures. The Aureli Imperium uses these backwater systems for their pilgrimage routes after all, I said and returned to my console. A sigh of relief overcame the bridge. Well, that explains everything, doesn't...
Quantum waveform detected. Unidentified ship inbound. Vector 330.
The ship's AI suddenly spoke. Within seconds, a massive, truly stupidly huge ship suddenly appeared in our view. A multicolored, supersized ship, 50 times larger than anything we had ever seen, suddenly imposed itself upon us.
Evasive maneuvers!
The captain called out. A momentary panic suddenly shattered the calm of the bridge and everyone got to work. We worked in beautiful concert as we hastily and carefully maneuvered our ship through the massive hulk that suddenly appeared. We narrowly avoided the damn thing and scared ourselves to death as we raced inside it. It looked like an enormous shipyard dry dock with engines. Suddenly, our engines cut out.
Engines off, thrusters not responding.
The pilot yelled out as she lost control. Reactor to idle? Oh no, that thing's shields overloaded our capacitors, attempting manual restart. I yelled out.
Weapons check. Activate defenses.
The captain yelled out. Negative, sire. All systems down. Even our communications network is out. I replied. A sudden thunk threw everyone off balance and the ship went to backup power. The reactor finally came back to life, but only by a small amount. Shields went offline, our guns went to standby, and something was hitting the hull.
Docking procedure complete. Thank you for using Autotech Industries for all your shipping needs. Please have a nice day.
Our ship's AI said in an all too uncomfortably cheerful manner.
Comms are open. I'm patching us into a frequency I can see. There.
Our comms officer said. The holovid panel appeared out of the roof in front of the captain, and a creature we had never seen before appeared. A big round head, no feathers, no beaks, flapping mouth parts and a big tongue, frontways eyes and rows of white teeth, indicating a predatory species. It had strange tufts of fur around it, red on top, red on its upper lip, but none anywhere else. It started talking to us, the language incoherent and babbling. It pressed a few buttons on a console hidden from view, and the AI spoke again.
Auto-translation software installed. Archive access granted. Please hold.
A few tense moments followed. How long would this take?
Procedure complete. Veridiani translated to Common English. Have a nice day.
A loud groan of boredom, followed by the creature speaking, followed.
Thank you for using Autotech Cargo Freight, the #1 cargo freighter transport service. Please follow standard safety procedures and disembark from your craft. Today's canteen meal is meatloaf with ice cream sundae, and selected coffees are on sale. Please be aware that free meal service is available only to first-time active-duty military personnel. Thank you and welcome aboard.
The creature moved away from his screen, but stopped in his tracks, seemingly confused.
Wait, what did you say? Cassius? But you're already docked up.
He said. His look of confusion got worse as another voice was heard in the background.
Oh, for not again. Goddamn side traffic. Fucking hitchhikers thinking they can get a free ride by stealing someone else's slot. Look, just take Bay 47. Don't bitch about parking space, you twat. Just take the damn spot or get left behind. You already paid for it, so get going.
He angrily yelled at whoever he was talking to.
Okay. What the hell did I catch in the dragnet? Damn hitchhikers!
He said. We were able to see from external sensors that some kind of mechanical appendage had appeared and was scanning our ship. Captain, what do we do here? I asked.
I have no idea, Ensign. We can't escape. We can't defend ourselves, and we can't hold a card against this thing. If we could do anything anyway. Let's just hope this entity is at least open to talks.
He replied calmly. I ruffled my feathers a bit nervously as the creature continued.
What? What the hell kind of ship is this thing? Who built that? I mean, I know I catch some oddballs here and there, but what the smeg is this? Hey, Marty, look at this thing. Yeah, Bay 17.
A little bit of radio chatter followed between this creature and another, seemingly one named Marty.
What? Oh, right. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I can't. They aren't pirates. I don't have a probable cause. It's illegal. Yeah, all right. Let's see. Docking arm engaged. Standard ops. Good. Welcome aboard. Please follow the arrows to the hotel.
The creature continued to talk with someone off-screen. Alarms started ringing. The ship's computer started alerting us to what was going on again.
Docking procedures initiated. Please hold for bacterial sterilization procedures. Complete. Equalizing atmospheric conditions. Complete. Accessing biological data. Scanning. Complete. Pressure equalized. Humidity increased. No risk of bacterial infection. You are clear to enter. Please enjoy your stay.
The ship's atmosphere regulators kicked in with a soft hum and the door to the airlock slid open. We stood there in shocked silence for a few minutes. I stood up out of my seat, breaking the tone, and waddled towards the airlock.
Where are you going?
The captain asked. They offered a free lunch for active military. I am active military, and I am hungry. I simply said I had no other way to handle this, but I was in fact hungry. So I essentially said screw it. My feet patted away through the corridor, and my breathing became easier. I became more focused, almost as if the air filtration system was a lot better than ours. The corridor gave way to sterile white tiling, with various artworks including pictures of strange apes, landscapes of countrysides, and the overall feel broken with soft greenery. Eventually I found myself in some kind of dome complex, in the center of which was a large, brown-bark tree. Oh, pretty. I chirped and headed toward a sign my translator marked as canteen. My captain and crewmates followed behind me, our flippers waving as we walked through the strange vessel. As they came through the corridor into the dome, a creature nearby appeared, stopped dead in its tracks, and stared at them. They simply stared back and followed me into the canteen, waddling slightly faster. It was only now we saw the size difference. They were 4 times our size.
Did somebody lose a shipment of mutant penguins?
The creature said as we passed by. We ignored it and headed for the canteen. Almost immediately on entering the door, my senses were overwhelmed by a massive number of delicious, delightful sights, sounds and scents. I couldn't help myself and stood there sniffling about. By instinct, I tapped my feet on the floor in excitement and waved my flippers about. Something in here smelled absolutely magnificent. I ignored the creatures around me and moved to an empty table, waving my compatriots behind me to an open spot. It was a bit awkward to figure it out, but we got seated after observing our surroundings and copying the creatures nearby. I reached into my flight jacket and produced my service ID card, placing it on my table. Nothing happened for a bit, and I squawked. So, how does this work? Is it self-service? Or is there a waiter? I asked, my translator making sense of my squawking to the creatures.
Oh my god, sentient space penguins.
One creature said.
Hey Mel, 24 orders of the MilServe special!
One creature yelled out, snapping everyone out of their stupor.
24? Well shit, we got a fleet order up today or what?
A voice asked from behind the counter.
Nope. Aliens. We caught a Xeno ship on the Dragnet on our last pass.
Another voice said. That voice was that same creature we saw on the holovid screen.
You what?
The voice behind the counter squealed in shock, then appeared out of a door to the side.
Get back in there and cook. I'm the captain here. I'll handle this.
He replied and approached our table. Hello? I said, looking up at him.
Can you understand me? Your translators get the update we sent them?
He asked. Yes, they did. Thanks, I replied.
Well, we weren't expecting you to show up, so sorry about that. Glad to see you aren't exploding, so guess Atmo is compatible. Again. Sorry. We have a privacy protocol that stops us from scanning ships too much. Captain Timothy Blythe, at your service,
he said, holding out his right hand. I grabbed it with my right flipper and shook it. Pleasure. Engineering Ensign Codsworth V. That over there is the captain, I said, pointing at my senior officer.
Oh God, he's wearing a little Napoleon hat.
A voice said behind us. Timothy looked at the voice and glared at them with a death stare.
Sorry about my crewmates. Before we begin, I have things to ask. Do you have any allergies to certain foods? Herbivore, carnivore, or omnivore, and do you eat any kind of dairy or milk products?
Carnivores, but not obligate. We can eat some veggies in small amounts. As for dairy, we're fine with it. Capsaicin and alcohol are poisonous to us. Sugar is fine though, I replied, my beak spreading open a bit and squishing itself to try to mimic their smile.
Righto, I will have your meal shortly,
he replied with a smile. One thing before you go, what in the blue blazes is this thing? I said, gesturing to the ship around me.
Long-range cargo freighter. It's a mobile dry dock that uses the reactors of other ships to extend the effective ranges of our FTL drive, allowing us to jump almost across the entire galaxy or to basically any point. We use these ships to reduce jumps from 20 jumps to 1 jump, drastically reducing travel times and making routes a lot safer. Mass intersystem logistics, including free cleaning, paint job touch-up, and meals like a mobile hotel. We specialize in cargo ships,
he said, and headed into the kitchen.
In short, this thing is a shipping ship, shipping ships. Someone made a stupid meme once, and some genius turned it into a thing instead. Turns out it works.
One of the creatures behind us said, and carried on with his meal. Oh my, that's okay then, I said, stupefied at the implication. The crew looked at each other, concerned to the absolute as we considered how much of a tactical advantage they had over the rest of the galaxy, considering the size of their ships and the armaments. These were just cargo ships, and they had better guns than one of our battleships. We could only imagine what nightmares their actual warships were. Our attention snapped back to the present as moments later, we had a small plate full of a truly succulent-smelling food appear in front of us, along with eating utensils similar to the ones we use. They had an FTL system whose only limitation was the power input and could effectively jump anywhere they wanted with a bigger reactor, and they found a way to actually do that with these massive mega freighters. At this point, I was over it, and my growling stomach overcame my common sense. I picked up the utensils with my flippers and cut a small piece off. I put it in my mouth and lost my senses completely. "Oh, sweet godly nectar!" I exclaimed, tossed the utensils and scarfed down the entire meal, which was twice my usual ration with my mouth and flippers. It didn't take long before everyone else tentatively tasted, then ravenously chowed their own meals down. We collectively belched loudly and lay back in our seats from the most incredible meal we ever had, at least for a very long time.
Well, if that's how you respond to my meatloaf, I wonder how you'll respond when we serve fish,
the chef said offhandedly. "Fish?" All of us collectively gasped. "You have fish?" We all screamed together. "Oh, shite,"